Montreal Canadiens fans started saying that the honeymoon phase with GM Kent Hughes is over. And it all happened after they picked David Reinbacher, 5th overall. And, I mean, I'm sure you saw it. It was the most viral moment from the draft yesterday. Carey Price having no idea what this dude's last name was and saying David, and then everybody named David in the arena being like, me? And even after Kent Hughes took the mic and was like, yeah, we planned it that way, David Reinbacher, like, the whole arena was just in shock of like, oh, what just happened? And it wasn't like a normal draft moment that the other kids got. So off the bat there, not a great start for David Reinbacher as a Montreal Canadian. And you've got a ton of fans flooding social media saying, why did they pick this guy? Terrible pick. They should have gone for Michkov. What's going on? And you've got people making memes of, because Montreal's been saying thank you Philly when they took Cam York in 2019, which allowed the Habs to take Cole Caulfield at 15th overall. Now Philly's saying thank you Montreal for taking Reinbacher so we could take Michkov 7th overall. And then there was people saying that Reinbacher didn't look happy enough coming down the steps. He wasn't happy enough to be Montreal Canadian. Give me a break. Come on. Let the kid experience this however it hits him in terms of a reaction. It's not like he's going out there like, oh man, I'm in Montreal, this sucks. Come on. And between the Carey Price name flub and the pick itself, Montreal Canadiens Twitter was in a frenzy. And there were people who were making comparisons of Reinbacher to an awful person just because of the country he's from. I mean, the people who are doing that is just despicable. You should be ashamed of yourself to be making that comparison for a 17-year-old kid just because he's from Austria. Like, that was just awful stuff. It's infuriating. So the people who are doing that, just give your head a shake. So I just hope that in all this chaos, the kid was at least able to enjoy being drafted by one of the most storied franchises in all of hockey. Because if he was checking social media or wondering what a lot of fans were saying, so I'm hoping he just got to enjoy that last night. You know what? I'm rooting for this kid now. I want him to be a fantastic player for the Montreal Canadiens, turn this whole thing around, and make that fan base adore him. Because he looks like a great kid. He looks like a fantastic player as well. And look, I'll be honest with you guys, because I always am. If I was in that position, I don't think that's the guy I would have gone with. In my opinion, from what I'd seen, he wasn't the best player available. I'm also not a professional hockey scout or in management for a reason, and those guys are. So, I mean, if Kent Hughes thinks that's the case, that's the case. From a purely on-ice play perspective, I just hope this isn't the Eric Goodbranson, oh, he's big and he can shoot and he can play, and we're in love with a defenseman because he's big type thing. But I'll tell you what, after this whole draft fiasco with him, I'm pulling for him even more to become a star, and I hope he can prove all the doubters, including me, wrong. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below.
How come we can get this done for?
My wife to football.
Not the series, a video. Just this video. Not that I don't want to. I just need to do
the NHL draft has come and gone, which means Craig Conroy did not get a first-round pick in one of the deepest drafts we've ever seen for Noah Hanifin or Elias Lindholm, or Tyler Toffoli for that matter. Yes, Flames fans have started to come around to the idea of Yegor Sharangovich, especially after he signed that 2-year extension, but to me, Sharangovich in a third-round pick is not enough value for a guy who, he's not 40, he's only 31, he scored 35 goals, 73 points, was the leading scorer on your team, and was probably the best pure goal scorer finisher, the hardest thing to do in the NHL on your entire team. The Flames did not get enough back.
Since we're on the topic of the draft,
for Tyler Toffoli. But I do like Sharangovich as a middle six forward, especially giving him a chance.
while we're on the topic of the draft, I watched like the first round, like the first 20 picks, first 23. I might have made it to the second round, but I'm pretty sure I didn't get the second pick. Second round.
Going forward, So we roll. But this is where things get absolutely terrifying for the Calgary Flames because, hey, now that the draft is over, all those picks the GMs were holding like gold because of the talent in this draft, it's all done. If Conroy's looking for futures in a trade for Noah Hannafin and or Elias Lindholm, you're working from 2024 and beyond, which is honestly a bummer because, again, this was an incredible draft class. And okay, let's start with Elias Lindholm. You guys know my take on this. I'm ticked off that the Flames are kind of rolling on the right carpet for him. They offered him a gigantic contract, and he gets to dictate if he wants to play for this team or not. If you're getting a contract that's $70 million plus, then you should be jumping for joy playing for a franchise. If you're giving a guy $9+ million a season for 8 years and he's still on the fence, that's your answer to whether or not that guy wants to be there and you should keep him or not. And honestly, I think the Flames should take a page out of Vegas's book. They just traded Riley Smith, an original Golden Misfit, for a third-round pick in order to keep Ivan Barbashev, who literally just joined the organization at the trade deadline. You gotta be cutthroat and you gotta be a backstabber like that. That's how you win in this league. So if you're offering this type of contract to Elias Lindholm where you're setting him up for life and you're giving him time to screw over the franchise and take all summer to think it over in a Swedish ice bath or wherever, then no. Goodbye, Elias. I'm trading you. And on the Noah Hannafin side of things, we know from Elliot Friedman that he wants to go back.
Okay, here's my opinion on it. I don't think my opinion can count or would count. Because I'm not a fan.
We also know that the 3 teams who've kicked tires on him.
Because I'm not a fan of the Calgary Flames. I'm also not an enemy, so don't think I live in Canada. I'm American. I'm proud to be American for that. And I'm also not from Texas. Anyway. Lindholm. One of Calgary's best players on their team. Would I let him be? I'd say, boy, you're going to sign this contract out. I'm kidding. I'd probably tell him, just make the decision already. Or tell him, do you or don't you want to play here? Because we could just trade you away. Now, Lindholm's a lot of value to Calgary. But what about a team like Vegas or Edmonton or Toronto or New York Rangers? Those teams don't think, oh, Lindholm would be good on our team. Maybe the Rangers, but not like a team that just won the Stanley Cup like the Vegas Golden Knights. I would say you could trade him away to San Jose. Now, I'm not saying I would trade him away to San Jose. I'm saying that would be a good team to consider. Excuse me. You either trade him or he walks into that free agency hole and trying to offer him millions of dollars for him to get out of that free agency hole and come back to your team.
The most are the Buffalo Sabres, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Florida Panthers. I saw a rumor of a trade offer from the draft here that scared me more than The Conjuring. So, the Sabres offer for Noah Hannafin was Victor Olofsson and pick number 86 in the 2023 draft. If that actually is the offer, I'm glad Conroy said no. Victor Olofsson can score, but is 27 and 1 year from UFA. Basically, you'd lose him in a year to free agency. And this is something that I talked about with my buddies the other day, that Craig Conroy is a brand new GM. Everybody knows he's got a heart of gold. He's one of the nicest dudes you could ever meet. So they're not giving him their best offer. Conroy, you're new. Hey, I'm a vet. Listen to me. It's Steve Yzerman here. Do you know who you're talking to? This is a great deal. It's Kevin Adams here. It's Craig McFarland and Joe Sakic here. You know. Come on, Conroy. It's a great deal. Just take it. You're new. And to be honest with you, I'm wondering if that's what happened with the Tyler Toffoli deal. Because, hey, I'm sure if Conroy would have waited, I think there would have been some better offers for Tyler Toffoli. So if this rumored deal is true, then I'm glad Conroy didn't take it. Hopefully he can show some patience.
Bro, LGBT
True, then I'm glad Conroy didn't take it. Hopefully he can show some patience, because that's what's going to get you a good trade here.
Nope.
True, then I'm glad Conroy didn't take it. Hopefully he can show some patience, because that's what's going to get you a good trade here. It's waiting it out until teams strike out in the free agent market and say, oh, okay, now we need Lindholm. We'll give you our best offer. So that's why I'm absolutely terrified to see what kind of trade rumors and offers are out there for Lindholm and Hanifin. And God forbid Conroy takes one of the terrible ones, because he very well might. That's what I'm worried about here. Please let Conroy take two great deals here. These two guys... So I'm taking a risk by making this video because he could honestly sign at any minute here. And if Patrick Kane has signed, F's in the chat, let me know in the comments down below. Because, hey, I want to talk about this. Even if he signs in the next hour or two, it's too juicy. So the Buffalo Sabres have the longest playoff drought in the NHL right now. They haven't been in the dance since 2011, where they lost in the first round to the Flyers. But this year, it looks like they're going to break that curse. They're finally going to make it back to the dance, hopefully. I mean, the team looks sick. I love the Eric Johnson signing to shore up a defense group that includes young studs like Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power. Eric Johnson is going to be a perfect mentor for them up there. Love it. Then up front, you've got what I would call the face of the franchise in Tage Thompson, number one center.
Are you saying that Patrick Kane could be the next Buffalo Sabre? Sabre? No way, Jose.
Big, strong stud. He can score as good as anyone in the league, in my opinion. Then you've got studs that are coming through in Dylan Cousins, J.J. Peterka. You've got young guys that are starting to develop. Zach Benson's a great pickup for them. Don't forget about Matthew Savoy. And you've got vets like Alex Tuch and Jeff Skinner who can still light the lamp real good. This team is stacked. But looking at this lineup, I feel like the top six could use one more punchy player, and why not hometown kid free agent Patrick Kane? Now, I'm fully aware that the reason Kane wasn't snatched up in like the first 10 minutes of free agency is because he's had a big hip surgery that's going to keep him out of the lineup. I mean, the time ranges differ from which insider you ask. Some people say, oh, it's going to be towards the end of October. Other people say November. Some people even say December for Patrick Kane's return from his hip resurfacing surgery. Look, this Showtime on Broadway match made in heaven that we were all thinking, oh, Patrick Kane in New York, it's perfect. It didn't work as well as a lot of us thought. I mean, there were a lot of times, especially in the playoffs, where Kane was singled out as the ugly duckling or the one that didn't belong in that Rangers lineup. And, hey, he got quite a bit of flack during that playoff run. And if you've been following hockey for as long as I have, the whispers of, oh, just wait until this Hawks team falls apart when they're not really good anymore, you'll see Patrick Kane's going to go home to Buffalo. Those whispers and rumors have been around for a long time, and now it could actually happen. It's not like, oh, if the Sabres don't sign Patrick Kane, they're screwed. If they ice the lineup they have right now, they're going to be just fine. And Patrick Kane can take his time, get healthy, pop right in the lineup, whether it's November, December, wherever he wants, and be extremely effective in that Sabres top six. He doesn't have to be the guy like he was in Chicago. He can be a guy who produces points alongside Tage Thompson, Alex Tuch, whoever else wants to emerge in that sick Sabres lineup. And look, Patrick Kane's not going to get $9 million here. I really don't think so. I think you could definitely...
Okay, that video is for the next one. If the next one's the Radio Show 100 or the 100th Radio Show, then I guess we're not going to be doing that one. Yes.
According to Wikipedia, New York Rangers, Kane put up 12 points for the Rangers in 19 games.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but maybe it'll happen. Okay.
You could definitely get